Old school here, baby. What's up? What's up? We are in the house for just a quick little late night or early stream, however you might choose to look at it. It is 2:30 in the a.m. So it's probably Tuesday morning, no matter wherever you guys are. And that's all we can do. Hi-Fi Protege in the house. Always a pleasure to see the main man. Yeah, I mean, we're just chilling right now. Early mania. Yeah, I mean, just a quick stream. You know, I like to reward the old schoolers with a fat stream. Let's see, system settings. Let's go sound. And we're back. We are back. I mean, I don't expect the numbers to be great, to be honest with you, because it is so late. But that's all right. Every now and then the stream has to be a gift to you guys, a gift to the fans. And yes, hit the like button. I don't think we have too many new people in the stream. But if we do, and you're lurkers, it's okay. Hit the subscribe button. It helps break the algorithm. And that is my goal. I'm going to destroy the algorithm. So this stream becomes one of the greats. I still haven't figured out how to do that, but that's okay. For those of you who know me, you know that I don't give up. I'm like Rambo in the hardware store. Nothing is over till I say it is. And that's okay. So I hope you guys, wherever you may be, are having a good morning. Some of you are about to go to bed. And some of you are probably waking up, getting ready to go to work. I welcome you all. It's the great thing about the Earlverse. We're not just for one group of people. And we have an international crowd. That has been good to me. So I appreciate very much the support. It's never been wavering. And I won't forget you, baby, like the Poison song says. Now I'll get my Comedy Store schedule this week in a few hours. So hopefully I get the Saturday night spot. This Saturday night I'm assuming I get my Saturday night spot at the Comedy Store. But before that, I am going to see Game Changer Wrestling. So that's exciting. They always put on a good show. And GCW is, you kind of see a lot of famous wrestlers. You know, that's where I was exposed to Speedball Mike Bailey, Megan Bain. The Nemeth brothers have done one-off matches for them. Matt Cardona, who's like the king of the independent wrestlers. So I'm excited to see what's going on. Oh, shit. Beloved chatter, a man who I shared a hamburger with at the first Hackamania in the house. Welcome, beloved chatter. I don't mean exposed in the nudity kind of way, in the Dabbleverse kind of way. But I think the show is sold out. It sells out right away. You have to join their Patreon to get tickets because they go like that. So, and they sell out months in advance. So the crowd's always hot. It's fun. Everyone kind of knows each other. So it's kind of like there's no drama. Some wrestling shows, a little bit of drama because you don't know who you're sitting next to. But in the same cool way you are. Yeah. I mean, I do all right with girls. I mean, maybe not lately, but I don't, I watch wrestling by myself. I mean, I don't have a lot of my friends are into pro wrestling. Like, I think this Saturday, AEW has a big pay-per-view from Toronto. I won't have anyone over. I'll watch it with Lois. And, I need something to forget about the stressful world of stand-up comedy. It's no joke, stand-up comedy. It's a sad business. So I need just to be suspended in disbelief for 2 hours. So it's a pretty good card. And, then I'll go to GCW and then hopefully close out the main room at the Comedy Store. Get up Sunday to watch football all day. And then hockey training camp starts Thursday. I had some Los Angeles Kings come see me the last 2 weekends. So it's pretty exciting to know that they know who I am. Unlike most of the internet. Greg Lambert, nothing can touch the Attitude Era. Yeah, you're probably right on that, Greg. I mean, I'm an AEW guy, but I mean, I would even argue that, wrestling's gone pretty strong since the Hulk Hogan 80s era. It had a couple dips, like, I think like maybe 93 to 96. It was kind of a weird era for both companies. And then the NWO and the Attitude Era picked up, and it's been going pretty strong ever since. I think that, wrestling, I could argue, has never been stronger. I mean, you've got WWE on Netflix. You've got AEW on HBO Max. And, well, they really owe it all to Hogan and Piper. I mean, that was, there's no Hogan, there's no Piper, there's no WrestleMania. I mean, that really was the draw. And absolutely Cyndi Lauper and Lou Albano, MTV getting behind it at the perfect time. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a different era. I mean, there are some bigger guys. Wardlow in AEW, he's a huge guy, but he just tore his pec, so he's out. You don't have like that Sid Vicious or Andre the Giant, King Kong Bundy, Big John Studd, the Shockmaster, one of the great botches of all time. But yeah, I would agree with that. You don't really have the super huge guys anymore. You have, my dad's from Minnesota, and he has an old Vern Gagne poster, and he's built like steel toe. Well, he's built a little better than that. But yeah, you don't, I mean, I'm trying to think the biggest guy in AEW. Well, it's Satnam Singh, he's about 7'4", 400 pounds, but he's not. I think he wrestles more in Ring of Honor. Um, but the biggest wrestler, probably Big Bill, who's legit. I've done comedy shows with Big Bill. I've had Big Bill in my Jeep, and he barely fit in it. Um, he's probably the biggest active wrestler in AEW. I'd say the biggest wrestler in WWE, WWF, whatever, is Omos. He's like 7'4", 500 pounds or something. Yeah, I was a WCW guy, NWA as well, Nikita Koloff, Dusty Rhodes, um, the Horsemen. I mean, and, I'll give Triple H this. I think Triple H was an NWA guy. So some of the storylines kind of have that NWA type feel. I always preferred NWA, WCW to WWE outside of Hogan. And then, I was a huge Ultimate Warrior fan. And of course, I think he got his start in World Class Championship Wrestling. So, if we're going to start talking rugby championships, I'm going to be at a huge disadvantage because I don't follow rugby. Yeah, Warrior did live his gimmick. I mean, you gotta give him this. He was a bit of a fucking maniac, man. I mean, the guy literally changed his name to Warrior to get around the copyright laws. So, in some ways, you think that's incredibly stupid, and then in other ways, you think that's kind of brilliant. I don't know. You'd think there would be a rugby. I mean, I know there's been rugby kickers in the NFL, punters, I guess. And they usually do pretty well. I remember San Diego had that one Australian rules player as a punter, and he would fucking boom like 70-yard punts like it was nothing. He didn't have great touch. So if they were like around the 50-yard line, he struggled because he was so used to blasting the football. But if they were deep in their defensive zone, he could really boom them. Darren Bennett, I think was his name. I don't know. It's been a minute for Bennett. And I don't mean from Commando either. So, yeah, I don't know why there hasn't been a rugby wrestler. I was just going to say, Bushwhackers were legit badasses. You don't really hear that about them, because they got lost in the cartoon character. But, I mean, of course, when you ask wrestlers who the most legit tough guy was, they all say Haku. And then when you get to that number 2 spot, it's not really surprising to me, but a lot of people do kind of get surprised. Dangerous Dan Spivey. We move 5 meters spread, no sound. This is Scotland minutes always travel on the wrong side of the border. Waiver in the house. We have a small crowd in here, but we got some good people in here. I love it. No, I'm getting a lot of DMs. No word on Gutfeld yet. But last week was a little busy, so Tongans are beasts. Yes, they are. Yeah, I mean, every single wrestler that says who's the toughest guy in a bar fight, they all say Haku. I think there was a tag team called the Sheep Herders. I'm not sure where they were, though. I mean, UWF, it sounds like something the UWF Herb Abrams would do. Of course, Dangerous Dan Spivey was in a tag team, the Skyscrapers, with Lord Humongous, a.k.a. Sid Vicious. And if you look up Skyscrapers versus Mike Blackwell, you'll see when pro wrestling turns real. What's up, TV? Sup? When Mike Blackwell refused to do a job and he was like stiffing Spivey and Sid, and that was the wrong strategy to do against those guys. Um, so I've tried to get Mike Blackwell on my podcast. That's a guy I would. It's not that my podcast is gone, but that's a guy I would definitely love to interview because no one's ever interviewed that guy, and you just want to go, dude. What were you thinking? I mean, to because apparently he was wrestling Sid and Spivey in his hometown, so he had a ton of people in the arena, and I think he wanted to get some offense in, and yeah, no, not a great idea. But to my knowledge, oh, Don Fry's the best. I haven't talked to him in a couple years, but he came over to my house. I'll try and post the picture. I took a picture of him, and he was great. I mean, probably the only fly in the ointment of the interview was I think I was talking about. I think this is when the Michael Sam, the gay NFL player, was in the news. I'm like, hey, what do you think of gay athletes? He's like, I don't. I was molested. I was like, okay, how about that Gary Goodrich fight? But thank you very much. I mean, I'm a big Don Fry fan. So, the fact that I could get him to come to my house was pretty epic. I mean, I will say I do miss the early days of the Inappropriate Earl podcast when I would make celebrities come to my home. David Arquette, Nan from Superman 2. I mean, I got some relatively big names. Stephen Pearcy from Rat. Yeah, I mean, Don Fry is. And still tough. I sat next to him at Rob Schneider's wedding. And he was a little tipsy at my table. And he's like, I bet you can't get out of an arm bar. I'm like, let's go, bitch. And he put me in an arm bar. And I gotta be honest with you, I've never been in so much pain in my life. So shout out to Don Fry for not breaking my arm. So we'll go a few more minutes, guys. This is just an impromptu, spur of the moment, break the algorithm stream. One of those former NFL guys who is gay lived in my area, Ezra Tuolo or something. Oh, okay, that's cool. I mean, well, I'm sure there's gay MMA fighters, but that strikes me as a pretty homophobic sport. Sorry, my back itches. So I'm sure there's gay hockey players, gay basketball players. I mean, that's got to be tough to be a gay NBA player. You're just in a locker room. Every dick is like 9 inches plus. But I mean, even the ball boys have 7 inches. Hey, so loads of openly gay rugby players. Oh, really? I mean, at this point, who cares? I don't really care if someone's gay. You know how many times I get asked if this comic is gay or that comic is gay? It's like, and what if they are? Who cares? Do you like their comedy? Then fucking keep supporting them. I mean, if I came out as gay, you guys would still listen. I mean, I'm not, but yeah. But back in the 80s, I mean, I can only imagine. I mean, I think there was a gay hockey player on the Detroit Red Wings, Paul Eisebart. And there's a lot of rumors why he got traded because people didn't want to play with him. So, and he was a good player. So, I'm not exactly sure if that's true or not, but yeah, I mean, who cares? I mean, in this era, being straight is like the new gay. Ian Roberts is a famous gay rugby player, legit hardest hitter I've ever seen, smash dudes in more ways than one. Hey-o! Hey-o! Yeah, I mean, I've known some gay dudes who call them a fag to their face, see what happens. You wouldn't like it. That's probably one of my favorite episodes of All in the Family is when Archie's friend comes out to him and Archie's like, nah, come on, you're not a fruit. And he puts like Archie in an arm bar. It's really a incredibly well-written episode and kinda groundbreaking given the time frame that it was in. It's also probably one of my favorite episodes of The White Shadow is when a player came out as gay. Um, hello. But the storyline was he's gay, so he transfers high school to the White Shadow High School. And then it was Peter Horton, who's a pretty famous actor. I think it was his first acting role. And then they go play pickup basketball at the park, and a bunch of dudes from Peter Horton's old high school show up to play, and they're like calling him the F word and whatnot. And the White Shadow High School is like, huh? So it's really for 1979, a great episode. Um, yeah, Rob Reiner was, everyone killed in their roles. I mean, uh, Rob Reiner's Meathead, Edith as like the ditzy wife. Um, Gloria is like the kind of annoying blonde. I mean, and of course Archie, and I think it's the best 9 minutes of what up, Gigon. The best 9 minutes of television is the episode where Archie Bunker and Sammy Davis. It's just wow, that's television writing. What up, Lisa? In the house. We're just doing a quick stream, probably about 10 more minutes because it is kind of late for me and I'm tired. And I am going to try and take yoga at 8:30 in the morning, which is very tough for me to do, but I'm going to try it. What plot device did they finagle to get Sammy Davis Jr. on an episode? It's actually really good. He was in a cab and he forgot his briefcase in the cab, and somehow he was finagled to go to Archie Bunker's house to wait for the briefcase. And it's just the greatest 9 minutes of racial zingers. Now, keep in mind, this was in the mid-70s. Now the scene would probably be considered boring, but it was just so well written, like perfection. And I would agree, Waver. Norman Lear did help shape America. Yeah, I mean, it was a different era. I mean, Sammy Davis was one of the biggest stars of that era. And he just pops up on a sitcom. It would be like seeing Taylor Swift show up on an episode of Young Sheldon, just kind of randomly or whatever. So, I miss that era. Thank you, Gagon. I don't know if I'm gentle or humble, but I have fun doing what I do. And I appreciate my fans. And, I'm just trying to crack the algorithm and have a good time in the process. Yeah, I mean, the 70s were just a different era. Skateboards, motocross racing, Bob Hurricane Hanna, just music, movies, TV. I mean, I know I sound old when I'm saying my era was better, but the 70s and 80s, man, you just can't. Oh, I remember Malibu Grand Prix. I used to go there quite a bit. It was like the greatest thing in the world to me. Such a great place to take a date. Very much like Ralph Macchio and Elizabeth Shue and Karate Kid, whatever, golf and stuff. What was that place on Sepulveda and Ventura? What was that? Had the batting cages, tons of arcades. The 80s were awesome, man. You had, the 80s are like Vietnam. You were either there or you weren't. And especially for me in TB, I lived off of Sunset. So I think Bad News Brown, the wrestler, was a gold medalist in judo in the Olympics. And, to see the technology advances from, like video games for me when I was a kid was like in television was groundbreaking. And now you play NCAA college football for EA Sports, and it's just like you're controlling a real game. I mean, it was really like quite special. We'll go another 5 minutes, guys, and then I've got to walk Lois, and then I'm gonna go to sleep because I'm tired. But every now and then I like to reward you guys with an old school IMAX stream. By the way, check out Doom's latest clip. Um, he posted Kevin Brennan's stand up, and it's really fucking funny, man. He was playing some shithole called the Dojo, and I did the West Coast Dojo. Remember the first test tube, baby? Yeah, I mean, there's so many things that in the 70s and Evil Knievel, like we don't have a guy like that anymore. Um, well, I love that video. She's hot. I take her with it. Ow! I mean, that's a great band. Y&T, they should have been bigger, but you know, they weren't the best looking group of guys. But that was a great video. You just pack it with girls with big tits. Yeah, KB is, no matter what you think of Kevin's stream or his podcast, whatever you want to call it, his stand up is top notch. And I am a stand up snob. Oh, really? That'd be interesting to see that, TB. I think we did the same thing at my grade school. I went to Good Shepherd grade school. Yeah, I mean, the 80s, the action movies. I mean, movies were movies back then. I mean, look at The Warriors. I think that was made in 79 but came out in 80. That movie still holds up. I mean, will the Fast and Furious movies hold up? Maybe the first one. But the one where they're in fucking space, what the fuck? I've written a lot of jokes for Kevin, but I'm terrified to send him a joke that I don't pay for. Well, send the jokes to me, and I'll see what's going on. But I hope they don't remake it. I've been hearing rumors for years that they're going to remake The Warriors and Porky's. You just can't. What up, Jenna? We're just doing a baby IMAX stream. I'm gonna guess he didn't. Let me look up on my iPad. I think Doom said it was I think he said it was a let's see, here we go. Kevin Brennan stand-up comedy secretly recorded. So I don't think Kevin knew it was being recorded, which isn't cool because I'm a firm believer that a stand-up should always know when he's being recorded. Yeah, I mean there was a gay gang. I think there was a couple other. Oh, was Felicia in the crowd? I don't think she was. Oh, really? I didn't know that was Ray. But I still think it's a good stand-up. I mean, my school also was a paper drive and got to name the chimp L.A. Zoo Sonny. My school, we had Tommy Lasorda visit us. We had I think we had Ronnie McDowell from Planet of the Apes come in full costume. I went to Good Shepherd grade school. I think when I was there halfway through, it was Beverly Hills Catholic, and then it switched to Good Shepherd. That was really. I don't think that was Let me look. No, I'm too tired. Interesting. I think Felicia's really pretty, to be honest with you. I mean, great bone structure, perfect skin, great hair. I think she's pretty funny, but I've only seen the one clip she posted. No, No, I don't think so. Hold on, let me look on my iPad. I'm almost positive that is not. Let me turn down the volume here. Uh, that is not Felicia in the front row. I can already tell. It's not. I'm not trying to argue. I mean, um, yeah, I mean, that's a clear face shot, and that's not her. Yeah, that's absolutely not her. Now that might be Ray in the background laughing or whatever, but and Ray probably was on this show, to be honest with you, but um, I don't watch Kill Tony, so I wouldn't know if he was funny or not. No, I just they just showed a clear shot of the face. That is not her. I would bet my condo on it. I mean, Triple H, he seems like the type. I've met him before. Triple H was very good to Lemmy and Motorhead. He had them do his music, and he didn't have to. They could have just used the regular in-house guy. So I'll always respect Triple H for that. He took care of Lemmy because those songs made Lemmy and Motorhead a lot of money. Uh, um, yeah, I mean, I'm not hating on Kill Tony. I just don't watch it. I mean, that would have been cool to be on the panel. What up? What up, Shandy girl? We're just doing a baby IMAX stream, almost like a reward for you guys. And I love the background on this. You get the full Earl sign and whatnot. Um, and you got to figure, I mean, Triple H has been on camera for 30 years, so he's probably pretty good at impromptu roasting. Oh, interesting. I mean, Carrot Top's probably as jacked as Triple H is. So, yeah, I mean, Kill Tony, it's big. There's no denying it, whether you like Tony or not. It is a cultural phenomenon, I guess, and that is a good song. I also like the theme song to Evolution. Um, so, of course, it would have been interesting to see how Evolution would have been. I think before Batista was Sean Jindrak was in Evo. They did vignettes with him, but I'm not sure what happened. Oh, okay. I mean, I don't like I said. I mean, I did 6 Kill Tonys, very early Kill Tonys. So, um, I got to take Lemmy to my dentist many a time. So, I kind of grew up being a Motorhead fan, strangely enough. I mean, I like what I guess you would call the gay metal. Poison, Rat, Quiet Riot. Well, I mean, I think the problem with Kill Tony is that, it's established comics shitting on comics who can't fire back. And it might be funny every now and then, but listen, who am I to criticize the show? They're playing Madison Square Garden, so um, you know, I was mates with Lemmy. My ex-girlfriend is one of their managers. I think she still helps manage the business to this day, and co-manager, I guess you'd say. And I live not necessarily next door to Lemmy, but pretty close to Lemmy. And so every now and then they would have me get his mail. I would take him to the dentist. And frankly, several times they would have me check and see if he was alive. Because he would um, sometimes disappear for a few days. And I did not want to be the guy who found Lemmy dead. Every But see, I don't think it's cool to shit on Red Band. I mean, like, Red Band's the brains of the show. I mean, yes, Tony is the face of the show, but Kill Tony would not. If you took Red Band off of that show, Kill Tony would not do well. And because you don't really see the contributions that Red Band does, but he's really fucking the brains of that show. So see, I don't like shit like that. Shit on somebody else, but don't shit on the guy who helped create the show. Um, oh yeah, he was not only just the brains of Rogan, he was also the brains of It's Your Mom's House with Tom and Christina. I mean, they don't achieve the heights of success that um, they did without Red Band. So I don't like shitting on Red Band. I mean, Red Band's helped a lot of fucking comics, a lot. Not just Kill Tony comics. I mean, Red Band, before I was passed at the Comedy Store, and I guess the first couple years after I was passed at the Comedy Store, was one of the few people who would book me at the Ice House, and he would offer to pay me every single time $100. I'd be like, keep it or give it to someone who needs it more than I do. Um, oh, 100%. I mean, so I don't really like that they rip into Red Band. You know that's going to cause a rift eventually between him and Tony. I guarantee you that. He really is. I mean, how many people? I mean, in the podcasting world, I would argue that Red Band is probably a first ballot Hall of Famer in terms of if they ever do a podcasting Hall of Fame, Red Band has to be on it first ballot. Um, so, he's just three of the biggest podcasts ever had him as a producer. Yeah, I don't know what happened between him and Rogan, and I guess Jamie took over. What up? What up? Big Bones Jones. Yes, for those of you wondering, my birthday is September 17th, 1968. In 24 hours, I will be an ancient 57-year-old. And I don't want money from anyone. I want subscribers. So send the word. I want the subscribers alive, if not wasted. What movie is that from? So, I mean, thank you, Ben Jones. I think I look pretty good for 57. I mean, most of my hair, not all of it, but most of it. Couple grays here. But, well, thank you, Greg Lambert. Got a good body for a 57-year-old. And my buddy disliked Piercy so much, not sure why. Yeah, I don't know. Piercy's awesome. Like, now I will also say, yeah, I mean, that's another thing, Red Band, if Red Band didn't have the brains and the foresight to, when Joe went onto that stage that night against Mencia, something in his brain clicked. It was like, I better tape this. I mean, thank you, Jenna, very much. That made Joe a superstar. Like, Joe was already successful Fear Factor News Radio. And even though Joe got kind of let go from the Comedy Store because the Comedy Store took Mencia aside, that made Joe. It gave him that. Rest in peace, and I'm sorry. Sorry for your loss, TB. Yeah, you don't look your age at all. I mean, you can. I think age is just a number if you take care of yourself, and you don't even have to do it in like a wacky way. You can really, um, you don't have to work out every day. You don't have to take thousands of dollars worth of vitamins. You can, you take yoga a few times a week. You lift weights a few times a week. You hike once or twice a week, and you're going to be looking good. So, um, yeah, I mean, sorry about that, TB. I mean, it's, I guess dying is a part of life. I know Lois's mom, Gail, who I don't really talk about a lot on this stream, but this was a very, very, very tough year for her. She lost her father and her brother to brain cancer. So, um, you know, it's tough. I haven't lost anyone too close to me, although a guy I grew up playing ball hockey with, I just found out died of prostate cancer. No, we weren't terribly close, but, it was a lot of, early adult memories with him. Yeah, I mean, like I said, you don't have to, um, even, like, facially, like, you don't have to get facials every other day, there's shit like this. I mean, like, this spring water that, you know, gives your face a little moisture and you don't appear so fucking dried out. Um, so, it's probably never been easier to look and feel younger. Tomorrow night I play hockey and I'll be sore for 3 days, whereas before in my 20s, I literally would play 10 hockey games a week, 5 on Saturday, 5 on Sunday, and go out all night on Friday and Saturday night, and I could wake up Monday morning and run a marathon. Now, like I said, I'll play hockey tomorrow night. I'll be sore for 3 days. Um, yeah, I mean, weight training is good. Yoga's really good. It's good for I take hot yoga and, I mean, yeah, massage too. It breaks down the fatty tissue and it helps. It doesn't eliminate soreness, but it helps. I mean, you have to hit it from all angles. It's kind of like me on YouTube. I'm doing lives, I'm doing shorts, I'm doing 2 to 3 minute videos, I'm doing 10-minute videos. You just have to attack aging from all angles, and of course, you can cheat and do roids and growth hormone and all that shit. But yes, thank you for hitting the like. Now, I notice in the IMAX streams we don't get a lot of trolls or new people in. So I probably don't need to say hit the subscribe button, but if you can, awesome. Um, yeah, I mean, that's the crazy thing is that, like, I started playing hockey when I was 20, and in the league I'm in, which is the league I'm playing in tomorrow night, there were like 150 to 200 teams in the league, so you could play in like 5 to 7 different divisions, whereas now there's just a Tuesday night league, and, I think there's, like, 3 divisions on Sunday. I can't play Sundays because I just can't get up that early, but, I would go out all night Friday. I'd play in 5 games on Saturday. I'd come home, maybe sleep for 2 hours, go out all night nightclubbing and chasing girls, play all day Sunday. And I'm not saying I went all night. I went out all night Sundays, but, sometimes I would. And I get up Monday morning, fine. I could do anything I wanted Monday morning. Now when I wake up Wednesday mornings, I'm hurting, man. My knees hurt, my back hurts, my wrist hurt. But I still have the hardest shot in the league, baby. That's a back jack. So, yeah, that's the only thing I don't like about getting older is the recovery process. I'm probably strength-wise stronger than I've ever been, but, you know, the recovery from an event, like a sporting event or whatever, or even just going to a concert that's long. I mean, at Guns N' Roses, I took Red Band to go see Guns N' Roses, and, fuck, man, I mean, they played for, like, 3.5 hours, and I was hurting, man. So I've never taken any steroids at all. Um, I've never done testosterone therapy or any of that. Um, I've never timed myself. Yeah, I mean, I just did 225 7 times. That's a lot for me, and my body is horrible for bench pressing because I have super skinny long arms. But yeah, I don't know if I would believe that. See, the problem with taking that shit is, like testosterone, once you take it, you have to take it forever because you take these like testosterone replacement things and your body naturally stops making it. Now, your body decreases in testosterone every year after 30, But, at basically 57, my body's still making testosterone. If I did TRT, I'd have to take it for life. And yeah, I do TB. And it's not like I'm a pro bodybuilder, so I'm not going to be overly concerned about, you know, if I'm completely ripped and whatnot. Um, yes, yes, 100%. I do remember that, beloved chatter. I remember Tommy Lasorda coming to Good Shepherd Grade School giving us fitness tips. And even back then, I was like, huh, this guy's got a fucking beer belly. Uh, yeah, I would say the only thing I take are maybe natural testosterone, like shit you can get at GNC. I don't think that is, that's more of a supplementing your body's natural testosterone making um, systems. But if you like are taking roids and fuck yeah, bong hall. Bong hall, you seem like you're new to the stream, so would you mind hitting the subscription button? Um, age recovery big time. My brother's 45. Yeah, I mean, I just don't. I've heard about peptides. I've looked into it. What up, round eyes in the house? I mean, I just want to look good for girls, to be honest with you. I mean, obviously in my hockey league, I'm probably the oldest guy by at least 10 years, and I'm still pretty competitive with everyone in the league. Yeah, but doesn't it like if you get the medical grade stuff, you have to take it forever. Um, oh, interesting, A. Thompson. Interesting. Yeah, I'll take what Scott Steiner was having. Um, yeah, I mean, there's Diana Ball, there's Anabar. Yeah, I mean, I want to look good for myself, but I also want to look good for members of the opposite sex. Um, so, I don't really feel the need to take steroids or any wacky testosterone um, supplements. I'm good. Um, I mean, I looked into TRT about 3 years ago, and the doctor was like, "Yeah, you're perfect for it, but your balls will shrivel up." I'm like, "I'm good. I'll just 100%. That all caps are out when you're talking about your gonads and steroids. That's a fact, Jack. So it's but everyone's different. Uh, oh, interesting. That's interesting. Uh, yeah, 100%. The Dabbleverse is full of crack babies. Um, Juggalette Jen, what up? Good morning. You do it periodically to do without. Yeah, I mean, I just. Well, that is the problem with steroids. Most guys I know who are on roids, they would take and go, "Hey, if 10 cc's of Decas gets me this effect, how about 20?" And then you never are satisfied. How about 40? I mean, I knew one guy from the gym. The first job I ever had was at Family Fitness Center on 9911 West Pico. I don't know why I remembered that address. And he was taking the steroids they gave bulls to get bigger. And he would take the same dosage that they would give an 800-pound bull. So, and he mysteriously disappeared. He always tried to get me to go to Tijuana with him to buy him. I'm like, get the fuck out of here, Holmes. So Black Will, I'm not sure if Black Will is still with us. I have a feeling he's not. Uh, I mean, I think my testosterone's pretty good. I mean, it's definitely, I don't feel as energetic as I did when I was 20, but, I can get around pretty good. Um, so, I'm happy with what I have. Um, I mean, do I have a bit of a belly? I'm not smart. I'm street smart, which is ironic because I grew up in a rich neighborhood, but growing up in a rich neighborhood put me in front of country club hustlers, gambling addicts. I mean, the grill room at the Bel Air Country Club where they played, or I should say the card room, which was next to the grill room, was the greatest education I think I've ever had in my life. So, um, I'm certainly not. I'm not book smart. I never golf club thieves, absolutely, but a country club in the '80s was just such a fascinating. It was a life lesson. Um, I mean, I was a private school kid, so and I was an average student, B's and C's. Every now and then I'd get an A in something I was interested in. I mean, I was really good at the high school math the freshman year. What was that? What was high school math for first year called? And then when I got to geometry sophomore year, I was fucking lost. So, um, but like, I'm definitely street smart. Like, I can sense trouble like that. Um, Whereas most kids I grew up with couldn't. But it's like when I used to play tackle football Saturday mornings in Coldwater Canyon. There was such an interesting group of dudes there, the Menendez brothers, William Margold, the porn star, Joe Hunt from the Billionaire Boys Club. So I grew up around some real high level grifters. So, that's why I say I'm street smart. Um, just because even at the first gym I worked at, it was all basically a rich person's gym. So I was around those fucking hustlers. Um, you know, um, I'm kind of happy I grew up in the area I did because it prepared me for life. Um, well, I mean, I don't know what pool halls are like now. Um, uh, Ed Gein, I want to see the new Ed Gein movie. I think Charlie Hunnam from Sons of Anarchy is in it. I'm very curious as to the man who played Jax Teller, how he can translate into Ed Gein. Um, so, I mean, basically, if you want to know what my life was like, it was American Psycho. I That was my circle of friends, a bunch of people who were that fucking phony and so into going out, getting the nice reservations, clubs, and partying. That's why that movie, I think, still means so much to me because I grew up with that. So, um, I don't know what is bush glycerin. I mean, I'm going to assume bong hole that you're not fucking Rose McGowan, but if you are, good for you. I mean, she was so pretty and charmed. Jay Baruchel, he's a big hockey guy, isn't he from Montreal or something? And Seth Rogen, who voted for me in roast battle against the great Jimmy Carr. Thank you very much. Um, so it'll be interesting to see. I mean, I can't picture Charlie Hunnam as a serial killer along the level of Ed Gein. But did you ever go to IWF Wrestling in Simi Valley back in the day? What up, Steve Hall? I did not. I used to go to wrestling with my dad at the Olympic Auditorium, which is now a Korean church, I believe, off the 5 freeway. Plank. What do you mean plank? Just doing a plank. Yeah. I mean, planks. I've always had weak stomach muscles. I don't know why. Um, I mean, I got a little pudge down there, but I'm pretty skinny outside of that. But yeah, I don't know. I think abdominal muscle strength is genetics. Um, so it's what I wish I was stronger than. Absolutely. Like I'm confident in my bench press and squats and all that stuff. I mean, my pull ups I've definitely gotten weaker in. Um, I did get a shout out on Jim Cornette's podcast. Guys, we'll go another 5 minutes and then I must go to sleep because my body is starting to power down. But I very much appreciate the small but friendly stream we had tonight. And yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm just not like when I do yoga and we do a plank, I have to quit pretty soon. I can go for maybe about 15 seconds and then I'm like, I'm out. So it's something I wish I was better at. But like I'm happy with all other assets of my fitness regimen. And Jim Cornette's the best. You remember Bullworker Fitness Tool? I think the earliest fitness tool I remember is the shake weight. Um, I start with 10 seconds. We all do. Yeah, I mean, but like my one friend Taylor, she's like an advanced yoga teacher. She can do a plank for like 10 minutes and she doesn't even shake. She also does these things where she goes to the beach and they have like these two things that are drilled into the sand where you can do handstands on it. And if you're like a really advanced yogi, you can do the 7 body shapes, and she does them all. It's like, wow. Um, yeah, but I wish I was a little tighter around the stomach area. I mean, I probably do eat a little late at night sometimes, which isn't the best, but Buddhist priest, I don't know what you're talking about. You're wang for, but you got 3 minutes to explain yourself, brother. Um, so, like tomorrow or today, I'm taking yoga and then I'm going to play hockey. Um, oh, interesting, interesting. Okay, I see it. Um, I mean, then there's the Bowflex. I remember that. I remember I used to work out at a gym where the original Bowflex guy was, and I'm like, "Hey, man, do you really use that?" And he looked at me and goes, "I don't use that shit. I get my body from an actual gym." And I'm like, "Oh." It's like when I saw Bob Paris at a bookstore. So, Mr. Paris, I want you to know you're the reason I drink Joe Weider's Dynamic Body Shaper. And he just looks at me and goes, I don't drink that shit. And I'm like, oh, man, that sucks. Yeah, Chuck. Bowflex, I mean, that guy was pretty ripped. But looking back, I'm like, after he told me that, I started looking at all those fitness models and like the commercials for different exercise machines, like the perfect push up. Remember that? Those 2 discs that would move. And it's like, you guys didn't get that body from doing that. You guys are probably a member at Gold's Gym in Venice. Shit. Body by Jake, I don't know. He kind of seemed like a grifter to me. Um, Asian women don't age facially. I mean, my ex-girlfriend from the 90s, she's married, 2 kids. She looks the same. That would be the great Anne. Thank you very much. We still talk. See, I talk to most of my ex-girlfriends. Of course, the last few, that's another story, but we won't get into that. One more minute, guys. One more minute. No, I dated my girlfriend from the 90s. I dated an Asian girl from 92 to 98. And she was awesome. I remember she was with me when my parents passed away 2 months apart. And both times I called her and said, hey, Ann, my mom died an hour ago. And this is when my parents lived in Miami. She was in Miami that night, like dropped everything. She did the same thing with my dad. So, funny thing is, when my dad passed away, we're in the limo coming back from the funeral, and it's me, Anne, who's very Asian, and my dad's best friend, who was a fighter pilot in like World War II. And I don't think he realized Anne was Asian, and he just started telling the story about bombing the Japs. And Anne was cool. She didn't get too upset about it, but it was still like, Mr. Donovan, And he got pretty graphic in terms of rating the villages. Yeah, we got those round-eyed, pie-faced bastards. I'm like, all right, you kids. I love you all. Thank you for the love and support. Just so you know, I'm serious. And I will stream at some point tomorrow, probably in the afternoon, because tomorrow night I have hockey. And that's it. I love you all. Thank you very much.